So I'm gonna do some yoga out here today. It's a little rainy, but it's all good. It's better than doing yoga in the house. So um, I do have a little umbrella too, so it's helping a little. So we're just gonna start in a seated position with our palms facing up, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Focus on breathing in and setting free what doesn't need to be here, what doesn't serve you, what isn't necessary. Release any stress, any tension in your upper back, your lower back, your neck, your hips, any of that. Just set it free. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just focusing on setting free everything that isn't necessary. Any negativity, just let it be. Let it go. Focus on the present moment. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Breathing in, retain, retain, retain. Release out your mouth. And then we're going to slowly transition to some cat and cows. So you're going to be on both hands and your knees and just tucking your head up and then tucking it under, just feeling this full tuck to feel the stretch in your neck and just feel the connection to your lower back also. It's gonna feel incredible. And then you're gonna release your left leg out behind, your right arm out in front, and you're gonna feel this union of opposites pulling in your lower back. It's stretching it out. Pull it out to the side, out, out, out. Feel the stretch, and then tuck it in for 5. Doing these ab crunches. 3, 4, and you're gonna feel your abs elongate. And then you're gonna release, sticking your right leg out behind, your left arm out in front, and feeling this stretch in your body, this union of opposites, out to the side. One side might be tighter than the other. And then just tucking it in for 5 on this side. 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then releasing, then going back to some cat and cows. And then threading the needle, lifting your right hand high to the sky, tucking it under, just feeling the stretch back through, and then threading the needle on the other side, feeling the stretch, shoulder stretch here on this side, and then back to all fours, doing some cat and cows. Then you're gonna hover. You can actually go on the top of your toes. It's a different feel than on your keeping your toes down. It's like bending your feet like they're shoelaces, hovering above the ground in this bear pose. Your shoulders are domed out, and then you're going to transition into the downward dog. It's your first time in this pose here, so walk it out, really stretch, really feel the back of your calves in this pose. You're really stretching your leg, your neck down, you're gazing at your hamstrings or your legs, and then you're gonna walk it to the center of the mat, half lift, forward fold, and then we're gonna stand tall, side bend to the right, feeling the stretch in our left side body, center, side bend to the left, feeling the stretch, mini back bend, clasping your hands behind your back, forward fold, feeling this stretch in your body, left hand down, right hand toward the sky, feeling this lower back twist, right hand down, left hand toward the sky, feeling the twist on the other side. And then if you want to take it one step further, grab your right big toe, pull it out to the side here, and just hold it here as a balance challenge. And then do the same with the other side, pulling out your left leg, holding it here for a balance challenge. All of your weight is going into that right leg, so you're going to focus on that. And then vinyasa or downward dog. And then just focus on 3 breaths here in this pose. In through the nose, out through the mouth. And then we're going to repeat those steps again for the side bends. So you're here in the downward dog. You're going to step halfway up your mat, half lift, forward fold, standing tall, side bend to the right, center, side bend to the left, mini back bend, clasping your hands behind your back. If you can't do it, no worries. And then forward fold, and then we're gonna do those twists again. You're gonna feel the shoulders stretch and elongate in that pose. Now, the cool thing about yoga is you could get really crummy sleep and you could go and do this yoga flow here and feel, and you can do a vinyasa or downward dog, and you could feel just incredibly amazing because you're stretching out your body, you're recirculating your blood, and you're just waking it up and twisting out and maneuvering all the toxins in your body. And then we're gonna lift our right leg high for this pose, feeling the stretch in our right leg. We're gonna step it through into a crescent lunge, lifting our arms overhead, gaze follows. Then we're gonna twist to the right. Gaze follows toward our right hand here in this pose, feeling the stretch in our left leg. And then dragonfly twist here, tucking, putting our left hand down, right hand toward the sky, and then tucking our left leg under for a seated half split here. So our right leg is straight, pulling the toes toward you. You're feeling the stretch in your right thigh. It feels amazing, or your hamstring. And then we're gonna do these poses on the other side, vinyasa or downward dog. Lifting our left leg high to the sky here. Going to go step it through, crescent lunge, hands overhead. Feel this pose here, feel the thigh stretch, twist to the left, open your arm, gaze toward your left hand, feeling this dip in your right leg, holding it here, holding, and then we're gonna put our left hand down, our right hand down, left hand toward the sky, dragonfly twist, and then we're gonna do a seated half split. So we're gonna sit on our right leg, pulling our toes toward us, and just feeling the stretch in our left hamstring here. And then back to downward dog or vinyasa. And a vinyasa is just a tricep push-up, and then back to the downward dog. My mat is soaking wet from just being outside in the rain. It is sprinkling still right now, but it feels so good to be outside. Just try it sometimes. It's amazing. So then from this pose, we are going to lift our right leg high to the sky. We're going to tuck our right leg under for a fallen star, lifting our left hand toward the sky, feeling the stretch in our left, the higher hip area, the higher ab area. Then we're going to go back to the downward dog, lifting our right leg high, feeling the stretch. Then we're going to step it through for that crescent lunge again, feeling it. Then we're going to twist open to the right, gaze follows toward your right hand. And then from here, we're going to clasp our hands behind our back, or reverse prayer, leaning over our right front leg. We're in pyramid pose. Our legs are like railroad tracks, our feet are, and just feeling it. And shorten your stance if you have to bend your leg. And then from here, you're going to do a dragonfly twist to the seated half split. And let me tell you, the seated half split is amazing if you have tight hips, tight calves, tight hamstrings. It's just incredible. And then we're going to sit back up. We're going to go into a half moon pose. Right hand toward the ground, left hand toward the sky. We're going to feel this stretch here in our right leg. Make sure you're engaging your core. And then release and go back to downward dog or vinyasa. And we're going to do these same poses again on the left side. Give yourself some time to reground itself. You're going to lift your left leg high. You're going to tuck it under for a fallen star here on this side. Right hand toward the sky, holding it here for a moment to feel this fallen star pose. Then you're going to release, lifting your left leg high, stepping it through for crescent lunge here on this pose. And then you're going to twist open to the left, gaze toward your left hand, feeling this stretch in your body. And then reverse hands, reverse prayer, or I just clasp my hands behind me for a pyramid pose on this left side. My feet are like railroad tracks. I'm feeling the stretch in the back of my left leg. It feels amazing. Woo! And then I'm going to put my right hand down, left hand toward the sky, feeling this stretch here, and then back down, putting my left hand down for a half moon pose. Make sure you're engaging that right hip area, the right leg, you're lifting it, your core is doing the work, your hip is there, and you're feeling the stretch in your left leg here in this pose. Gaze toward the sky, toward your right hand, and then release and come back down for a vinyasa or downward dog. Just walk your dog here in this pose, focusing on your breath work, in and out through the nose, in through the nose, out through the mouth, setting free what doesn't serve us today, what isn't necessary, what we don't need today is always a good thing, and why yoga is so intentional. Then we're going to walk halfway up the mat to go to chair pose, arms out in front, feeling like you're sitting in an imaginary chair, but you're not, because your hips and your legs are doing the work here. And you're going to bring your hands to heart center, turn and twist to the right, gaze follows, and you're going to open your wingspan here, and then back to center, staying low, hands to heart center, twisting to the left, open here in this pose, and then back to center, and then standing tall, forward fold into a vinyasa. In through the nose, out through the mouth, setting free what we don't need is essential. And then I'm gonna walk my hands to the back of the mat, raising them high overhead, hands at heart center, and I'm going to do a few stretch poses. So what we're going to do for the first one is we're going to do a half bound lotus. So you're going to lift your right leg up, tuck it in the hip crease of the left. You're going to lean over, walking your hands as close to your foot as you can to feel this stretch, and just hold it here. It feels amazing. This is half bound lotus. It is stretching out your hip area. You want to give it at least 30 seconds to hold in this pose, 30 seconds to a minute, to get the full benefits of the stretch here. So you don't want to rush through it. So you're holding this half bound lotus, and it feels magical. And then you're gonna sit up if you can, and then if you want, grab your right foot out to the side, Padangusthasana B, and hold it here. It feels amazing. You're stretching it out after you held it. And then reverse, grab your right leg, foot behind you for dancer pose, leaning forward, and then release. And just stretch it out, wiggle it out, and then we're gonna do it on the other side. So our left leg is gonna go into the crevice of our right hip, and we're gonna lean over, and you're gonna feel this stretch on the left side. One side will always be tighter than the other, so just don't judge your body. Just feel in that moment how you feel. Be present and be self-aware. So you're holding this pose here for 30 seconds to a minute to really stretch out, get into that hip area on the other side. Now these are great poses to do if you sit at a desk all day and you're crunched up in a tiny ball, or you're not sitting properly at a desk. But either way, if you're sitting most of the day, you're going to want to do these poses, or say you're standing all day. And bottom line is everyone can benefit from them. So you're going to come out from that, you're going to grab your left foot out to the side for Padangusthasana B, holding it here. Your right ankle is supporting you. It wiggles to strengthen it, and then you're going to reach behind, grab your left leg or left foot, leaning forward for dancer pose, and then we're going to go to a vinyasa or back to the downward dog. Refocus on your ground, on your breath work, and then we're going to walk our hands back to the mat, back of the mat, and we're going to go into a triangle pose. So you're going to point your right leg to the side as far as you can go, and then you're going to lean over this right leg for triangle pose. So just trying to make sure I'm in the frame. Left hand toward the sky, feeling the stretch in your left side body here, and your left hand's toward the sky. It feels amazing. You're going to want to hold it here again for 30 seconds to a minute to get the full benefit, because what you're really doing is stretching out your side body. And you don't want to dump all your weight here. You want to use a block if you can't keep this leg straight for some reason, or you're dumping your weight in there. So it's all about engagement and cheating out on some of these poses. Granted, sometimes you're not 100% going to be there, but you want to get there as close as possible as you can so that you can get the benefit, because why put in the work if you're not going to? Now you're going to stand up, feel the blood flow back. Then you're going to lift your left hand overhead, putting it down, right hand toward the sky for this reverse triangle pose. Feel the difference in your lower back. Feel the stretch. Feel how different your leg feels. Yoga is about feeling and being intentional with yourself and how your mind and body feel in that current present moment. And sometimes you just don't have it. Every day you're not going to be able to give 100% or 90% or whatever. But showing up is what matters. Now we're going to stand up and we're going to point our left foot this way, leaning our left arm down for triangle pose on the left side. And like I said, each side will be different. So showing up for yourself is what really matters in this world. Being present for yourself, because the world does not exist in the future or the past. It doesn't exist on what ifs or anxiety. It exists right here, right now. So focusing on how you feel right here, right now is what is really intentional. So when you do these poses, engage and be present for yourself. So you're holding this triangle pose on the left side. You're making sure not to dump your weight into the left thing. The engagement and the core part is essential. So you're leaning back up, and then your right arm is going to go overhead for the reverse triangle pose. And then left hand toward the sky, feeling this stretch or this twist like you're wrung out like a dish rag. It feels amazing in your lower back. Feeling the stretch, left hand toward the sky. Again, focus on your breath work. Breath work is what brings us to the present. Movement and breath work combined show us how intentional the present moment is. And we're going to release from this pose. Now, I'm going to go into a prayer twist. So my left leg is in front, and I'm going to twist to the left side, not dumping my shoulder into, or my neck into my shoulder or any of that stuff. Just holding this pose. And if you need to shorten it to get the full benefits, go ahead and shorten it, because that's what matters. So you're here in this twist, just holding it like the other poses to get the full benefit. You want to hold it. You want it to really sink into your body and be intentional. And then we're going to release, stretch it out. Then we're going to stretch our right, put our right leg in front and do the prayer twist on the right side. And the right side is going to feel different, of course, so prep yourself. Focus in through the nose, out through the mouth, focusing on your breath work. This prayer twist feels really good. And like I said, you could have the crummiest sleep ever. Go and do yoga, and yoga will place more intention and purpose in your life than you ever think. So we're going to do a wide-legged fold kind of. So you're leaning forward, you're going to grab your big toes, and you're going to pull your head down, bending your elbows out to the side, and feel the stretch in the back of your legs. And just really get into this pose. And honestly, like, you can bend your knees slightly as well if you need to get further down to feel the stretch. You're pulling your head in, your crown as far down to the ground as possible. Now this inversion is so magical as well. And what it does is it reverses the blood flow, so you stand up and you feel like a new person. Well, not really, but close to it. And then you're going to come halfway up and then pull yourself back down and just really feel the stretch back in your hamstrings again. It's important to stretch anytime that you're doing anything like for long periods of time, because you want to really extend out. You really want to feel the release in your body, and you are going to be tight if you don't. And that impacts so many things, so many muscles, and so many things. So I'm going to clasp my hands behind my back for this other forward fold. Just leaning over, just dripping my head down. My hands are overhead. If you can't do this pose, just put your hands onto the ground as far as you can go. Just feeling this shoulder stretch in my body. It's really incredible. It's going to feel tight at first, but as you lean into the pose or you get deeper because of gravity, you're really setting yourself up for more looser joints, more looser ability to do things. And then lean back up, standing back up. Whew. And then focusing back on your breathing. And I'm going to go into a downward dog from here. And just walking my feet out for a second, just to feel the re-stretch, re-blood flow in the back of my my calves everywhere. So it feels really good after doing those poses. And then I'm going to lift my right leg high to the sky. I'm going to step it through, pivot and plant my left foot, standing here for warrior one. Then I'm going to put my right forearm on my right leg and stretch my arm overhead. If you haven't tried it, if you're watching and you haven't tried it yet, this pose is where it's at. It stretches out your left side body, and it does so many things that it's just incredible. And then if you want to take it one step further, you can clasp your hands behind your back. You can stand on this left foot and lift your left or your right foot and lift your left leg up for birds of paradise. But it is not in my practice today because my leg and hip are very tight and it is wet outside. So then we're going to reverse. We're going to switch, putting our left leg in front, arms overhead for warrior one. We're going to do this pose on the other side. Gaze toward your hands and then left hand to your left thigh, right arm overhead, and feel this stretch. Each side feels different. The side feels even better. I can't even explain it because it is so much more tighter, I think. I don't know. So if you haven't done one thing yet, try this pose. It's incredible. And then clasp your hands behind your back. And if you're wondering why one side's more flexible than the other, it's probably because you use one side of your body more than the other. This is the birds of paradise here. And it is pretty crazy, so don't do it unless you're feeling it for that particular day, basically. And then I'm going to go do a vinyasa or downward dog. Whew. Regrounding myself. And then I'm just going to go to a child's pose. I'm not going to go all the way down because it is really wet outside today. Just stretching out my shoulders here in this child's pose is really awesome. Especially after doing the birds of paradise. Birds of paradise is intense. And then I'm probably going to do a few stretches right here, right now. So you're in this all fours pose. You're going to cross your right knee over behind it and then lean over. This is called cow pose. And you know, it's going to feel really weird because the first time you do it, you're going to be like, this doesn't even feel like anything. But to be honest, it does do something. It does help with the hip stretching and with your lower body area if you stay in it for a few moments. I mean, the first time you do it, it might not feel amazing. You know, you might have to try it multiple times to get the benefits. And every time you do it, it's not going to be that great. So you're going to lean as far forward as you can in this pose. Just try it out. What have you got to lose? Half the battle in life is trying something you've never tried before. And most of the time, people don't go for that or try the thing. And then they're stuck in this continuous loop. So trying the thing might get you further ahead than somebody else. Not that it's a competition, but you might find something you like. And so you're holding this cow pose here. And then, of course, we're going to reverse it and do the cow pose on the other side when we sit up. So we're going to sit up, and then we're going to uncross that. So now the right leg stays. You're going to cross the left leg out behind. Now, you'll see one side will favor this pose more than the other. So even if you're sitting like this, I feel like you can still get some benefits from it. So everybody's anatomy is different too, so just trying it out doesn't kill you. I'm just holding it here. I can actually feel kind of my back stretching out as well, so I'm not sure if you guys can feel that. It's like mid to upper back. Sometimes you got to hold the pose longer than I tell you as well, so be mindful of what your body feels, because that's what it's about. And then I'm going to release from this cow pose on the other side, and I'm going to put my legs out long, just leaning over, stretching out my fascia area. And you know, you're not going to engage at all in this pose. You're just going to hold it, and gravity will do its job. So just be intentional about that. Again, we're going to reground our breath work. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. You can retain it at the top for a few moments. In through the nose, retain, 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 release. Just setting free what isn't needed, setting free what you don't need in your life. Yoga is about being intentionally in the present moment, right here, right now. Nothing else matters because we live in the present. And of course, other things matter, but what's truly mattered in this world is being present for yourself and being present for others. And we cannot be present for ourselves or others if we don't set free what isn't needed in our life, if we don't set ourselves up for this success by freeing all of that negative energy that's stored within our body, our mind, our head space. And we cannot take up space unless we do that. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then reverse plank. It feels so magical. Okay, and then back to a seated position. This concludes my yoga practice for today. I really thank y'all for joining me. It is, even though you can't see in the camera, it is really raining outside where I am. I'm in North Carolina, and but luckily I have an umbrella covering part of it. So I will be retreating inside. I really appreciate y'all following me. I have a YouTube channel under Fawn Thayer, Facebook and Instagram and all that stuff. So feel free to follow me there. I appreciate y'all. I hope you go and have a magical day. Namaste.